Okay, if you know that you are wearing white, please get up. Have a little exercise. Hey, there are too many white people. Oh, why did I choose white? I should have chosen an awkward color. If you know you are wearing white, please just get up gracefully, humbly, because I have a little exercise for you. Please, can I have any of the ushers help me with the microphone? I like the lady here. You look like you can sing. We're going to have a small singing exercise. You know the way Auntie Josephine said, she came to sing with your anchor holding the storms of life. Please, in your moments, can you tell me, or can you just sing a verse of a song that you would definitely hold on to in times of trials and challenges? So we'll just pick a few. Yes, ma'am. Your name and what song you go. So you can just do like a little verse, like a little verse. We want to, spice it up a bit.
Hi, everyone. My name is Diane Kay, and the song that I hold on to when I'm going through things is Firm Foundation by Maverick City.
Can you do a line for us? A line. You never know. See, you guys don't know my profile. You don't know if I can take you to Britain's Got Talent. Hey, I hold the keys to many things. Oh, no problem. I like this. Can we sing along? Build my faith in Jesus. You never let me down. Oh. Faithful through generations. So why would he fail now? You won't. Hallelujah. May the church say hallelujah, hallelujah.
Thank you so much to all my backups.
Okay, the gentleman in white. You thought I wouldn't see you. Please, your name and the song when you're in those moments. You have to do a line. And then you remember that you have backup singers. You never know where I will take you. Remember that. Showtime.
My name is Oladele.
Your name is?
Oladele.
Are you Nigerian? So you came to meet your mommies, your aunties, your uncles, your family members. Okay. Can you do a line for us?
So just follow our footsteps.
Please, backup singers. We got you.
I'll take the call. Everybody will start fixing.
Okay.
In Christ alone, my hope is found. He is my light, my strength, my song.
Open.
Please, your backup singers are here. Thank you so much. Thank you so. I want a last person, a volunteer who's wearing white. Okay, she says she wants to. I like that. I like the boldness. And the others, can everybody else sit down and we'll just allow her to?
And the song I sing when I'm down is By My Side by Prophets.
Okay.
So you cannot say
He is standing by my side.
Backup singers.
Must have got the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit.
Backup singers. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah, hallelujah. And I'm going to our convener because I also want to know her song. Make sure you are tagging Grow with Rennie or you are tagging Morenike Mulane. What did I say? You are tagging Grow with Rennie on Instagram or Morenike Mulane. Madam Convener, I greet you. We would like to know your song. This one, naturally, people that were wearing white, they are already prepared. They knew what they were going to sing. Oh God, I beg them. What song? In fact, that can work. Jesus, yeah. You have done it again. Jesus, yeah. In your spirit. What seems impossible, Baba, you made possible. Hey, Jesus, yeah. Thank you. And indeed, this is the song for the movement. What was what possible? You made possible, Jesus, yeah. Thank you all for indulging me, and it's really great to know that you are all anchored in the Lord. So in the next 30 minutes, we have a very special candidate, a very special human being. Aside being special to this world, she's very special to me. I don't want to be emotional. So, this lady, she flew all the way from Lagos, Nigeria. Lagos, Nigeria. To be with us. She's an associate partner with McKinsey & Company, where she serves public and social sector clients. So what does that mean? Governments, development institutions, major philanthropic organizations across West Africa on economic development and human capital development topics. She's a big woman, oh, please be clapping. She has over 15 years of experience in human resource management, change management, strategy, transformation delivery across several industries, including financial services, telecommunications, manufacturing, and healthcare. She's an alumnus of Covenant University and holds an MBA from INSEAD Business School, where she was elected as the valedictorian. Do you know what a valedictorian is? Like the whole school with Oyibo people from different countries. She's a star girl that was elected. She's the immediate past president of the Covenant University Alumni Association. I think maybe if you don't know, Covenant University is a university that has been built by a Papa. I'm trying to get the name. Oyedepo. Please, so I beg. Hey, do you see she almost swallowed me? Kemi serves on several NGO boards and has participated in multiple fellowships, such as the Mandela Washington Fellowship and the Nigerian Leadership Initiative. She actively volunteers. Her middle name is volunteering. Her time and skills as a core member of the live series with Ibukun Awoshika team. And she is a member of the WIMBIZ. She was a member of the WIMBIZ 2019 Conference Planning Group. Just to mention a few. She is an extraordinary speaker at conferences and has received several awards and recognitions over the years with respect to her career and humanitarian accomplishments. She was recognized on one of the top 100 career women in Nigeria in 2021. She's passionate about helping young people, and that is why she's here. She left her toddlers at home. She left her husband at home because she's passionate about the young people. And she navigates her career in a very wonderful way and life's journey in a very intentional way. Kemi actively explores countries. This woman has visited 42 countries and counting. She documents them in her travel adventures, and I call her the storyteller of her experiences. You should all sign on to her bi-weekly newsletter at www.kemionabanjo.com. She publishes, and her newsletter has over 25,000 members. So she just talks about life in general. I am glad to welcome my friend, my friend Kemi Ona Banjo Joseph. Yes. And Kemi will tell us what she's speaking on.
Thank you very much, Selassie. If Selassie is not your friend, make sure that you talk to her before she introduces you, because clearly you're a gift. Thank you so much, and thank you, Morenike. I already said my thanks on Instagram, but thank you for the platform. Thank you for birthing this dream, first and foremost. We were both here in Ghana volunteering 2 years ago, and it's great to see that you're now here, not just volunteering, but convening. And it's only a sign that it's going to be greater and greater and greater from here, in Jesus' name. Hello, everybody. So Selassie has stressed on people in white to stand up. Josephine made us stand up. I won't make you stand up, but I need your energy up. Yeah? Hi, Hanatu. So I'm talking about the best career moves for your 20s. The Grow with Rennie mentorship is actually a very well-rounded one that talks not just about life in general, but goes specifically into career, into business, into relationships, into finance, which essentially are the core pillars of life, and of course, how you operate within the context of life. And so I'm sure Selassie has told you, but over the course of today, we'll be talking about all these different things. I want to open up with your career, because once you're done from school, really, you're now the CEO of your life, in partnership with God, of course. So let's say you're the co-CEO of your life, and God is the chairman of your board and is running things. But ultimately, you have to make some decisions for yourself. For a lot of us that grew up within the African context, the very first decision you make is the job you apply to after university. Because you choose your secondary school, you were told where you were going. Of course, you didn't choose primary school. If you were lucky, you had parents that asked you what you wanted to go and study in university. They just invited you to the conversation. Most people, they informed you of the university you were going to and the course you were going to read. Am I correct? Okay. For those in Nigeria, and you guys also do youth service, usually it's the government that decides where you're going. And if you're very desperate in Nigeria, you might collaborate with some people to post you to the right place. But ultimately, that decision is not supposed to be yours. The very first decision that you're probably going to be making for yourself, apart from who to crush on, who not to agree for, all those things, is what job you're going to go and do. What career are you going to build? And the great thing is that the career that you're building is not always dependent on the course you studied in university. So if, for example, you were informed of that course, you don't need to be bitter about it. You can rebuild, and you can start afresh. So that's my first notice to you. Whatever has happened pre-graduation is in the past. If you're lucky, you can build on that. If you didn't like it, you can start afresh. And so this puts you in charge of your career. And that's the mindset shift I want you to have. You are in charge. Nobody else is in charge. You are in charge. You're talking to people and getting information from them. You're getting counsel. You have your chains. I really like the idea of chains because we're just as strong as the weakest link, right? So I like the idea of chains. The more people, the more sensible people, the stronger that chain is. You can get information from all of them, but you don't have to do what they say. You ultimately make the decision. And so you are in charge of your career. And so this conversation today is really about, now that you're in charge, now you're the decision maker, what are the things you should be doing to maximize that career of yours? Some of you are saying, I want to be my own boss, which is great. So the ideas here are also applicable to you if you're looking to be an entrepreneur or you're already running a business. How do you make sure that you're getting the most out of it? Newsflash, there is not one best move for your career. I know the name of the session is The Best Move. Hi! The best move for your career in your 20s. There's not one best move. the concept of one thing is what holds a lot of us back from making decisions. We think that because we've made a decision and it's not panning out well, maybe I've missed the one thing, or I've missed the one person, or I've missed the one career. Thankfully, the God that we serve is a God of surplus. It's a God of abundance. It's never just one thing. It's never just one person. It's never just one place. It's never just one job. It's never just one organization. There are always options. So apart from being in charge, remember that there are options. If a place or a thing is not serving you, you have the opportunity to go and start afresh or choose another path with wisdom, with the right information, with the right guidance. But there's not just one best move. There are options. The moment you know your options, you move differently. Do you agree with me? The moment you know that it's not just one thing, you move differently. You move with confidence. You're actually bolder to take decisions because if this doesn't work out, it's not the end. It's like Google Maps. If you're driving by yourself and you get to a dead end, you might panic. But if you're using Google Maps, you know that even if you take a wrong turn, it will reroute you. And that is the way that God works with us. You will be rerouted. It might be painful. You might have gotten to the ditch. The thing will still tell you, make a U-turn. After you come out of the ditch, make a U-turn. But the thing is, there will always be a rerouting. And that's important for you to know because there's so many different people here and all our career journeys and our life journeys are different, as Josephine said. But this principle of the ability to move and reroute and reinvent will help you on this journey. So there's not one best move. Don't let anybody tell you that because you haven't done an MBA, you're not going to be able to. It's a lie. Don't let anybody tell you that because you haven't done 17 certifications, you cannot become. It's not true. What is important is that you are committing to a few things. Why does this time matter? It's the foundation. Yes, you can rebuild when you're 42, but honestly, it's easier to rebuild at 25. How many of us agree? It's easier to rebuild at 42. There are bills. The bills at 42 are very different from the bills at 25. Right now, you're only worried about skincare and data. Those are the big, if I look at your Excel sheets, the big things there are skincare, food, and data. Maybe travel. At 42, it's very different. Your parents are older. There's health care for them. Even your backache, you need more aboniki for that backache, right? You now need to, do you know that orthopedic shoes are so expensive? How many of you have? So at that point, orthopedic shoes, normally you just, on Instagram, you don't even need to verify the vendor. You just buy what you see. Now you'll be asking, is there insole? Is there memory sole? And you can relate. Okay. So the bills are very different. It's still shoes, but it's different kind of shoes at 42. At that time, some of you who want to have children, you have children. So there's school fees in your Excel sheet. There's after-school tutor. There's in-laws. Before it was just you, your mommy, and your daddy. Even if they say, honor your parents, you are giving your parents. Now there's another person's parents to honor as well. So it's now 4 people. It is so much harder to start rebuilding at that time. And that's what happens where a lot of older people, they've gone down that path and they're just like, let me just continue. Even if it's not serving them, it feels hard. But you're so blessed. You have time on your side. And making those decisions now and setting the foundation now is the best thing you can do for yourself. A house that is built on a faulty foundation can be redone, but you have to pull it down. And that process of pulling down is costly. You have to go and find somewhere else to stay. You need to go and, get building permits. To even demolish a house is sometimes more hectic than building. And you have to do all of that. But what if you built right from the beginning? What if you just got it right the first time? It makes things so much easier. And then from that point, you're just on an accelerated trajectory for the rest of your life. So this moment is so important. I'm glad that you've taken out time to come and learn and get information that will help you. It's one more block. This event is not the foundation. It's one more block in building your foundation right. The things that you commit to learning on a daily basis are blocks that you're building on. So this time in your 20s or your early 30s really matters so that you're building your career right. It's also a time to experiment. If you're changing jobs every 2 years in your 20s, nobody really judges you. They just say, yeah, you're experimenting, you're exploring. At 45, if you're just hopping around, say, Ma, is there something, are there issues we need to discuss? Because at that point, stability is more what is valued. At this time, you're unhinged. You can do anything you want to do and get support. And people will forgive you when you make mistakes. When you make mistakes older, they will say they're forgiving you, but they've judged you. Younger, everybody's forgiving. Oh, he or she is just learning. They will learn. And there's a lot of forgiveness and grace that's given to you at this point. So use it. This is the time to experiment. I'll tell you my story. I wanted to be a doctor, but the doctor didn't want me. The medical field didn't want me. Actually, the US didn't want me. And I was just like, I'm not going to do 7 years, 8 years for a 4-year course in Nigeria. So I pivoted. Computer science was hot. I was like, I'll do it. And then I thought midway, I was like, I don't really like this thing. Tech was not as funky as it is now. In fact, if I knew, I would have stayed. But that's a story for another day. I can rebuild, so it's okay. And then I thought, maybe I want to do HR. So one of my internships, one of my holidays, I went and, did a HR internship. I was like, yeah, nah. Then I thought, maybe I want to be an image consultant because that year I used to buff up. I was like, I can help people. I used to help people shop. I was like, yeah, maybe I'll be an image consultant. Then I took one course. As they were saying, color wheel, mixing orange and red. I was like, no. I don't think this is I just want to help people. I don't want to say, what's your tone, I don't think I have it. But I had to try it to decide that I didn't want it. And I kept exploring. At some point, I thought, okay, maybe I'll go into consulting because consulting gives you the opportunity to try many different things without being judged. And that's how I went into consulting, just, out of curiosity. Then let me go and find out what it is I want to do. But these are the things you do in your 20s. Using internships, using, volunteering opportunities to try out things to figure out what you want or what you don't want. Because you have options, you need to start eliminating gradually. So committing to exploring and experimenting, but you can't experiment for 5 years. It's timed, right? You check it, do I like it, do I not like it? But at some point you have to commit to something. But I really encourage using your early years to experiment. Because why not? What if you don't try something? And that's why internships are so powerful. Or you say, I want to take an unpaid internship. You think you want to be a fashion designer. You think. And then you just see how many times the needle, maybe not. Or you experience customers and you're like, wait, is this how people behave all the time? They come for measurement, then they went to drink one slimming tea, they come back, what you measured is no longer the same thing, and they're now shouting at you. But you're like, it's 33 I measured. This thing is 33. You are now 22. And then you say, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I want to go and do fabric manufacturing instead, where I'm still doing fashion, but I'm not doing this customer relation thing. The only way you will find out is by trying. So I encourage you to experiment. Your 20s is for experimentation. Your 20s is also for learning. No matter what it is that you're doing, learning is going to be the biggest. And I'm glad you're here because this is a commitment to learning. You need to commit to learning. A lot of us, we read a 5-page article and then we suddenly think we're experts on something because you can bant about it. But you need to commit to going deep. Once you've figured out what it is that you want to do, you need to go deep. That's how you build an anchor. Every new thing you learn is a new link in the chain. You keep adding to it, you keep adding to it, you keep adding to it. And if there's a storm in that industry, the things you've learned can help you navigate to a different industry. Because you're going to be learning technical skills, but I'll come to some of the strategic skills. They used to call them soft skills. And I thought it was such a disservice to those things, they're even much more important than the hard skills. Because industries will fail. Think about people who were making typewriters. Where are they? Think about people, and this is in our lifetime. Think about people who only used to make the film. They were only making film for cameras. That's all they knew. Where are they? Do you think that, they don't have jobs again? Because bills don't pause. So industry will crash. Bills will keep going up. They still have to do stuff. But it's those strategic skills that they can transfer to another industry, to another, those chains. Maybe they'll have a few of the chains on that, a few of the links on the chains, because it's not relevant for that industry, but your strategic skills will still help you go into a new place and thrive. So committing to learning is important. One of my very first salaries, I used it to pay for a project management course. Because I thought I want to learn about project management. I was working in a bank then. But the bank wasn't going to sponsor me. When you're entry level, nobody's sponsoring you. Maybe now, Gen Z companies, they're doing better. Bank, sponsor, for what? They've not even finished sponsoring their executive director. It's me, this lowly employee, 47,202, that they will remember to sponsor. But it was an investment I needed to make. 1 month salary I can never forget is what I used to pay for that training. That month I must have lost weight because eat out budget's gone. I think I paid my tithe and that was it. But of course I relied on some savings. But that is how much of an investment you need to make. Nobody is going to invest in you more than you. Grow with Rennie is free. There's some other experiences that are not free, but commit to learning. Commit to learning through, I've talked about volunteering. I can plan an event in my sleep. I can plan, and I'm not an event planner, but I can plan an event in my sleep. Even yesterday we were at dinner, and I was already telling Marinike, when you go to this other country, depending on the numbers you have, these are the other ways you can do it. It was just spontaneous because I've done so much of it, volunteering. I've planned so many events, supported a lot of people on their events. I can figure out how do you do a big group versus a small group. If something changes in the middle of the agenda, how do you adapt quickly on your feet? I didn't go to school to learn it. I learned it on the job while volunteering. Skills nobody can take. If I lose my job today, I have options of what I want to go and do that I haven't been paid for, but I have practiced. If all you do is go to work and come back, you're not doing enough. At this age, you have strength. Use that strength. The Bible says, bear your burden in your youth. This is the time. You can't always be tired. If you're always tired, there might be a medical condition, and you should go and check. Seriously. But at this point, you're supposed to have strength to do many things. You do your job, you find 1 or 2, passion projects that you're really excited about, and spend time doing it. It might seem like, it's just unto the Lord, but you're learning. You're building skills. You're building your network. And future-proofing, learning for the future is important. See, this AI business is disrupting everything. In my last newsletter, I literally asked, I was like, please, how are you people learning AI? What are you using it for? Because it is not AI that will take jobs. It is people who know how to use AI that are going to be preferred talent going forward. So you can, submit AI on the altar of fire. It's not going anywhere. Nothing is going to burn it. It is going to be there. So you better align and figure out, how do I use AI to be more effective? How do I use it to be a more efficient professional? That's the learning I'm doing right now. So it doesn't end at 20. A mindset of being a lifelong learner is your superpower. It's what is going to make you change and adapt as needed. So committing to learning now. At the Lagos experience, Yomi, who was the keynote for speaker, Marinike's husband, was saying, if you haven't learned how to read books at 18, 19, it's not 27. You will now learn how to start reading books. But you can build the habits now. Commit to learning. Read an article. All that time we spend on Insta blog, scrolling. Just do half. You know now, Instagram, very rude. After 2 hours or whatever amount of time you set, they will say, consider doing other things with your life. You have now spent, how many of you see that? You have now spent 2 hours on Instagram. Consider. They're not forcing you. Say, consider doing other things with your life. That's how I read it. A lot of times I just say, not now. You just ignore and keep going. But let that prompt make you go and read something else. Let that prompt make you go and, just type in a question. What is currently happening what is the current geopolitics of the world? In this same ChatGPT that you're using to form Orishirishi, use it to learn. Use it to learn. So important. Your network is so key. I think Josephine started talking about it, but I'm going to talk about a few types of networks you should build. Not only friends who will carry you in the day of adversity. You need to build relationships with mentors. And it doesn't always have to be one-on-one. I think the internet, social media has democratized knowledge. We're saying that at dinner, but it has also democratized access. You can have access to people that you could only dream, you could not even dream about them, about meeting them. But social media has really democratized that. And so use that access well. What does that mean? When you find somebody who is doing something that you admire or you think you want to do, go and consume all the resources that they have. A lot of thought leaders are investing time in that LinkedIn one. Some days of the week, I'm like, these LinkedIn stories are not adding up, but okay. But the thoughtful, intentional role models that you have, go and look at what they're doing what they're saying on LinkedIn. Go and watch their videos. That is mentorship that's happening. Because mentorship is a contact sport. And it's not only physical contact. It is contact with the things that are in their heads and in their minds that really transform you. If you say, I want a mentor, and all you do with that mentor is follow them around, carry their bags, and you actually never have a conversation with them, you've just ended up being a bag carrier. You're not a mentee. A mentee is somebody who draws from that person. So it's in their words and in the things that they write that you learn and you get mentored and you get apprenticed. And so it doesn't always have to be a one-on-one relationship. You can learn from what it is that they are writing and what they are saying, because that is what you want to emulate. Get in your organizations, importantly. A lot of us sometimes we swing to the other side. Our mentors are all these people that we're never going to meet, which is great. But you also need mentors on the ground in your organization. Who will show you the ropes of that organization? Believe it or not, every organization has its own, we call it score in Nigeria. I don't know what to call it here. Its own peculiarities. Yes, that's the fancy word for it. Peculiarities. It's just the way they write in this organization. So when you come with your own writing, they say, this girl, they don't really fit here. But and tell you what it is. You just know there's a vibe. We're just not vibing. What does that mean? You need to find somebody who has been in that organization for 10 years and say, break down this vibe for me. How is it that you talk? How is it that you communicate? How do we write emails? Do I CC people? Do I not CC people? Should I call instead of emailing? It's usually not in any company handbook. Do you realize that? But you need people in the organization to show you the ropes. It's the reason why even when you travel, you get a tour guide. Or even the taxi man that picks you from the airport will be telling you how we do things here. Every organization has a way they do things. So if you want to accelerate in your organization, make sure that you have a person or people that will show you how to navigate in that organization. It's so important. If you can, find sponsors. Mentors will tell you this is how to do it. Sponsors will say, let me take you to the person that is recruiting for this promotion. This person is an excellent member of my team. I don't want this person to go, but I think that opportunity will be great for her. That's what a sponsor does. Opens doors for you. A mentor will say, this is the door. A sponsor will kick it open for you. And the currency for that is that you're doing excellent work. Because nobody is kicking doors open for anybody that is going to go and disgrace them. Because where did you find this person? It's Morenike. Morenike is even denying the mentee already. They say this person is just weird. They're not delivering. How did this person get here? They will now call the name of your sponsor. And so that your sponsor, their rep in that organization has just been crashed because of your incompetence. So people are very hesitant to sponsor people. When you find a sponsor, the best thing you can do is to work, you kill yourself. Not to please them, but to make sure that the opportunity they've created for you is worth it. To make them never regret that decision. So you're not working for them. I mean, the work you're doing is for you, you're learning, you're growing, but you're making sure that the next opportunity, they're happy to kick down that door for you again. Because the last one they did, you over-delivered. So doing excellent work is non-negotiable. All of these things I'm saying, network, is because you're already doing your work. You know what you're doing. You're delivering. In fact, in some instances, you're over-delivering. You're finding opportunities within the organization. The first event I planned were events in my company. I was working at Ericsson then. They said they wanted to do end of internship. I got you. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was like, I'm sure they've done this thing before. Let me join the committee. And then maybe I'll be the one to do 1, 2, 3 things. I'll learn. And that's how I started honing my skills out, just how to plan, organize events, not really media, but like curating. It's really curating events. Sitting down saying, how do we do this thing where people can learn, people can connect, people can this, people can that, and designing something that makes that happen. It was from volunteering at work. So volunteering is not always outside. You can volunteer within the organization. If your department you're in one cubicle at the back, the only way you will get visibility is to do other things. Is to do other things in that organization. And organizations are always looking for free labor. How many, you people? All these people in front, they can tell you, always looking for free labor. They say, we're putting together a committee instead of it to just hire a consultant to come and do this work. No. We want a cross-departmental committee to organize the send forth of the founding fathers of this organization. Where is your event planner, please? Why are you calling us that we have our jobs? But that is the way that organizations find forums for you to build skills and build networks as well. Because it's interdepartmental, there'll be people from sales, from marketing, from strategy. Everybody will be there. And that's how you begin to get visibility. And usually those interdepartmental committees, there's usually one director that's supposed to be in charge. If you do good work, that's visibility that you can use to develop a mentoring or sponsorship relationship with that person. These things are contact sports. You need to be in the arena for it to happen. You can't just pray a mentor down. You can't just pray your way into sponsorship. Yes, the favor of God makes them see you and like you. That's when they just like you. And it's not even about, different genders. Just one older woman will just like you. Why? You don't know. It's favor. But once favor, what do you do with it? Is it just liking of, mommy? Or is it liking of, we're working on something transformative together? We talked about Life Series. I met Mr. Oshika just by happenstance. And that's how Life Series was born. We had a conversation. I thought, a lot of people need to hear this conversation. And I was like, maybe we should go and plan it. Morenike, myself, 2 other people. That's how we started planning it. We've done over 20 events now across the world. I could have just been a, mommy, can I follow you to this event? Can I? And there's a place for that too. Because when you go to those places, you also hear them. Remember I said it's in their words and their writings that you learn. But what can you do with them that can change the world? The number of people that have been impacted by Life Series is just mind-blowing. So when you do get access by the favor of God, by the grace of God, in your organization and outside, I've had people take bets on me and just say, this project is insane, but I think you can do it. That belief will spur me on. Whether they are manipulating me, I don't know. But I'm just like, because sometimes when people say things to you and say, you can do it, it's just because there's nobody else that wants to work with them. And so they are looking for one person. But when you get there and you do that work, it's the work you did. And you find a way to communicate it so that people know that you did the work. Even if they take learning. Even if somebody else takes the credit, who has the learning? You. And nobody can take it from you. You also need your peer network. A lot of us keep looking up when we talk about relationships, mentors, sponsors, role models. Up. If you keep looking up, you're going to fall. You need to look up, look around, look down. Your peer networks is your look around, your horizontal relationships. Some of you are age mates, but experience is very different. Talk to somebody that is a peer and learn from them, then go through the work of finding access. First, you need to find somebody who knows the person, then you have to ask that person to write the email for you in a way that that person will reply. Then when they reply, you will now go and use ChatGPT to do your own reply. Then you will now say, please, can you give me a date in your calendar? That's in 6 weeks' time. Then you finally get there, you wonder, what questions should I ask? What gift should I take? Can you see how many steps before you actually access that information? With a peer, it's a WhatsApp message. Hey, I'm looking for XYZ. And they can connect you very quickly. We learn, we underestimate how much you can learn from our peers. So as you are building, build your peer network too. Being here today is a great example. If Monica and I first did not volunteer together, even though we had known each other for a long time, because we volunteer together, we built a bond. There's something about being in the trenches with a person. When you have shared experience, difference. This is why people you go to school with, it's a very different kind of relationship that you have with them, or people that you go to church with, or people that you do things with. Shared experiences, it builds bonds. And so because we, volunteering together, our relationship got deeper, and now we're doing things together. But she's a peer. I could have not invested in that relationship, and then there's some opportunities that will not have come my way. Your peers are going to blow. You too, you will blow. Right? But it's better when we blow together. And Selassie was saying this thing. If Rennie was only going to, use not peers, the amount of money she would pay for speaker fees. But because relationships have been built 5-10 years in advance, when we were not even public speakers, when we were not, what's keynote? We're not even we are at the back of the event, right? This is when you begin to build those relationships that will serve you in the future. But you need to make investments in it. So you're learning from them. You're also adding to them. Don't be parasitic. Just take. A lot of people who are givers just get tired. You say, I don't want to even be friends again. It's enough. I don't want to build network. I'm okay. Because when you go, people just keep drawing and taking from you, and it feels like no one is giving back to you. Find your anchors. As you are taking, there must be somebody else that is giving back to you. The final thing, 2 last things. Work is not the only thing in your life. Your career is not the only thing in your life. Find other interests, I beg you. It might be sports. It might be something in the creatives, writing, spoken word. Amaka draws. She's an artist. In addition to being a badass strategy, leader in consumer goods. It might be travel, and I know that the money is not yet complete. It will be complete soon. But if you have that curiosity, then you just go to, go to Takoradi. It doesn't always have to be Europe in the beginning. When I started traveling, I was really only exploring our local, we're exploring the local tourism industry more. We're supporting, buy Naira to grow Naira, buy dollar, buy CD to grow CD. We're exploring our environs more. But it's true, even if you cannot afford to go abroad or whatever, explore. For some people, it's travel. For some people, it's, something in church, that they're really, some counseling ministry, whatever. apart from work. Because on some time, your career might take a dip. And if all you have is work, and if your entire sense of worth is tied to work, you will struggle. You see that storm? Ati cheno and anchor, everything will sink. If all you have is work. I really like and I love that you came first, honestly. The analogy of the mast on a ship, it's never just one thing. It's multiple links that make it hold. Work is just one. What else? Your relationship with God is another one. Maybe it's the middle one. Work is one. Your friends, your relationships, your networks is another one. Your parents, your family. But you need to have other interests. What else are you doing apart from work and church? I had a triangular life at some point. Work, church. It's not even home, a triangle. Work, church, home. Nothing else. And then I was talking to one of my mentors. I said, oh, there's this fantastic fellowship. I remember it was the Savoie Fellowship, fully paid 1 year before Canada became hot. You can go to Canada 1 year. The year was 2013, I remember. And I looked at the essay questions. And I was like, I can never, ever. You know, there is delusion, there is faith. You need to know the difference. I looked at it, if it's only 7 out of 10, or maybe 6 out of 10 of the eligibility criteria, you can use faith to cover the remaining 4. If it's 2 out of 10, instead of wasting time on faith, get to work and go and find a way to build all those other things. I realized I could never be eligible for that scholarship because all I had was my job. And the questions they were asking us, what are you doing in the community? What else are you doing to... I was like... all I'm doing is making sure that I'm not harming anybody. That's all I'm doing in the community, just being a good citizen. But it's not enough. What else? And it really opened me up. I was like, this is an opportunity I cannot take. Because I mean, now ChatGPT can help you spin stories. But you don't want to be spinning stories. That's when I said, okay, I need to start volunteering. I found like an NGO. I said, let me go and see. And then I see there's a whole world outside of your office. There's a whole world. And so I encourage you to make sure that you find other things apart from work. It can be sports. I know people that play flag football every week, and that's their community. My husband, his football club. That's all I can say. Because those people play football every Saturday. But it's just that I know that they are people of God. I can't call it a cult. But the way they are, I've seen my husband get opportunities from there. They're always referring each other. If any one of them is building a house, it is the structural engineer that is in that group that is going to do it. My husband's lawyer came out of that group. If somebody wants to structure business, they call my husband. Cars, in that group, there's somebody that they only repair Mercedes-Benz. So if anybody's Benz goes bad, and they've built that community from football. I cannot think of any other thing that could have brought that diverse group of men together. For some of them, I say, where did they bring this person from? So random. But sports can unlock communities for you. Find other interests. If you're into art, go to the artsy places. All your other hip, chic, boho people will be there. You will find connection there. But make sure that work is not the only thing in your life. It's so important. And play makes you a more effective person at work. Because your mind, your creativity opens up. So for some people, it's writing. Join a writing community. Do writing challenges. For some people, it's music. They love music. Find a singing group. There's a 200-man choir in Lagos. Those people have day jobs. They're not full-time singers. Some of them are full-time singers. Some of them actually have jobs, but they find joy in that. The joy when you sing on Saturday will make you not too sad to wake up on Monday to go and do your work. The creativity that is spurred when you fuel your other passions and interests, give you energy. I work in consulting. It's a hard industry. I've been there for 12 years. I don't know why. I don't know how. People say, how do you do it? I'm like, I don't know. But I know that I started enjoying my job more when I had other things. When I had other things that were giving me joy. When one thing is the only thing giving you joy or fulfillment, it is too much pressure on that thing. So find other outlets. Sometimes you're just restless. You need to go somewhere and just jump. Go to the gym. Some people it's the gym. Find other interests. And finally, start giving back. It's not too early to start giving back. I always use this. My friend Stephanie Obi gave this a ladder. Think about, not a ladder, like stairs. Like stairs. And I had that photo in my presentation. You might be on step 3 of a stair, and you're looking up to the things you want to do, the places you want to go. There's somebody on step 1 that you can teach and support right now. I remember that there was a time where I never felt qualified to speak or whatever because I'm not there. I'm not Josephine. I'm not Dedo, you know. But that analogy of the step unlocked something for me. I might not be at step 10, but I'm at 4. There's somebody at 1 and 2 that the learnings that I have can help them shortcut some processes. I really like what you said. You don't have to go through the same hard process. I don't think God is wired for hardship. So that's why he put learnings and material so that you remember and know how to do things differently. It's the same way. Yes, you are now just in your 2nd year of work, but there's a girl in 200 level or 300 level in university that will benefit from what you've learned from just national service and 2 years of work. You have more value than you think you do. And one of the ways that you really get in touch with that value is when you're put in a position to teach or help or support someone. Otherwise, all you're looking to is what I can get, what I'm not, where I have not gotten to. But if you just take a moment to look back and try to see somebody who's 2 steps behind you, and you just want to tell them, well, for national service, if you get this kind of job, this is the kind of thing you need to do. It might seem casual to you, but that information has changed their life. And it has changed the trajectory of what they're going to do for the rest of their life. So start giving back. It gives you a sense of fulfillment. How many of you, when you give someone something, you feel so happy? You feel so fulfilled. It might have just been half of your lunch. It doesn't have to be anything grand. But giving back gives you a sense of fulfillment. It helps you feel like there's meaning to your life. And that meaning is what fuels you when things are going rough and tough and you're thinking, what's the point? Why am I here? You're here because there are people that are waiting for you to manifest, to teach, to share what you know. And you learn from it. It's always a win-win. I have never seen anyone who has served, volunteered, mentored that has not gained. It doesn't work. Like there's no way you will definitely get back from it. So to summarize, because I see Selassie is right here. I've been in these things long enough to know. Stop. Come on, you can come and stay here. It's okay. There is not one best move. There are options. You have those options. Experiment. Try things out. Use internships. Use volunteering situations. Build your network up, down, which is where you give back, and horizontal with your peers. Because all of us are going to grow, we're going to blow, and it's easier to just tell you're very, we've been together for a long time now, you can't charge me, Grow together. Most importantly, commit to learning. Learn. Learn things you know, learn things you don't know. Don't be flaky. Don't be surface. There's so many surface people that if you just commit to learning, you're a superstar. Just because everybody else stops at stage 1, you took the effort to go to stage 2 or 3, you become distinctive. I trust that this block in the foundation of your career will be an instrument to make new decisions. I know that there's not one best move, but what is important is that when things get tough, you reroute. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kemi Onabanjo. Thank you, Joseph. KOJ, thank you so much. Shall we give another round, And in her words, we will grow and we will what? We will grow. saying the blow, you won't blow. We will grow. We'll grow. And we will blow. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. How many of you were, I'm tempted to say blessed. This is not a church service. How many of you were, captivated? Have you started interrogating, have you started interrogating yourselves? Do you feel like that? And Kemi said something really strong. Peer mentoring. Peer mentoring. Let your peers, find your peers that can mentor you. Many of them seated here. I do a lot of peer mentoring. It could be in different things. So in doing that, make sure that you subscribe to her bi-weekly newsletter. Follow her on Instagram at Kemi Ona Banjo. Please follow her. Tag her so that she knows that what she said, it entered your spirit.